For any of you guys who aren't aware, Facepunch has released Devblog 158. If you haven't watched my stream or my last base build, I went into more detail. But to sum it up, raiders can now place twig and ladders within a building block territory, which has forced many base builders to change up their building style. So here's our base. It's got a sort of different appearance, but we'll talk about that in a second. Some basic facts about the base is that it costs 37,000 stone, 9,000 wood, and 11,000 metal frags. The base is built with a 4-walled TC foundation plan which can withstand many attacks from its side. Now that's obviously not going to be our focus for this base build since our new update allows for people to build to the roof. But anyways, for its size, this base will be built for about 3 to 5 members. Here's what I like to call a catwalk. Catwalks are just basically overhangs that prevent people from climbing up with ladders. On this catwalk we have 6 auto turrets, and this is for a specific reason. As of Devblog 158, many of you guys know that you can now build twig raid towers inside people's territory. But what was also added is the ability for auto turrets to detect and kill any players behind twig structures. Which basically means building twig structures and trying to raid tower this base won't be a very good method. Well, what happens if they raid tower right up against your base? Well, you're also assuming that the raider can make it past the auto turrets alive. Even if they do make it there, they're not going to be able to place any foundations or floors against the walls. As you see, the high wall prevents them from building. And even if they place it a little bit away from the wall, they're still going to be shot down by an auto turret. So either way, raid towering won't be a viable option for raiding this base. Like the twig, ladders won't be a viable option either. Pretty simple, the catwalk will prevent you from climbing up. And the best part is they can't even use a tool while they're on the ladder, so they can't pickaxe through your catwalk. And since the catwalk's generally high, they won't even be able to attach a ladder to the side of the catwalk. And if they use some wacky boosting method, I put signs up there, so they can't even place the ladder in the first place. And the signs take a lot of bullets to break, so they're not going to break anytime soon. And if every single one of these defenses fails, well, let's just say they're going to have to go through a lot of layers just to get to the loot room. Hey, how's it going everybody? Taco from Taco Tuesday here, and today I'm bringing you another base build. Into the first airlock, notice how the foundations to my left and right are slightly elevated above the rest of the foundations. Quick trick to check if there's a door camper, open the door to your right and the front door. This will create a slightly smaller crack which will allow you to get an awkward angle on your enemy. Through a few more doors we'll run into our cupboard. And this base actually does have 3 separate entrances, as you can see, they all lead to the same thing. Let's close these doors. Up here you're going to have to jump crouch to get up. And here, this is basically one of 3 of your ladder hatch rooms. 2 large boxes right here for you guys to use as dump chests or whatever you like, and 4 more over here. If you don't want to use it as dump chest, I highly recommend using it as extra storage, that way we can split off our loot evenly throughout the base, making it that much harder to raid. Let's close the ladder hatch. Here's our 3rd floor. This is going to be the floor that we're on the most. Here's a good example of what we can do with the split foundation. Large box right here for you guys to store whatever you want. And here is our loot room. It looks really cool in my opinion. I think this is one of my personal favorite loot rooms I've ever created. So let's open up these double doors right here. So typically behind every single one of these sets of double doors, we're going to have 4 chests. So as seen, right over here we have 4 chests, and right over here we have 4 chests. Store whatever you want in here, use it as extra storage. But over here, we have a repair bench and a research table. Research table will help us get any components that we need for the base, and repair bench will help us repair our tools. Here's a box to put some scrap and materials, and that's pretty much it for that. Anyways, up here is going to be where we put our main loot. So these little cubbies up here, I think they're really cool in my opinion, so we'll open up them all. Each one of them has 2 chests and you can access them both. So I'd put all your C4 and guns in here in my opinion because this is the most safe spot. In this center console to my right is going to be our resource storage. Meaning you're going to store things like stone, wood, metals, sulfur, and other things like that. It's super helpful to have all your resources in the center of the loot room because whenever you're going to need to craft something, your resources are always going to be right there. Anyways, in each corner of the loot room we have 3 furnaces and 1 small planter for hemp, alongside with sleeping bags evenly being spread out throughout the loot room. You can substitute sleeping bags with beds if you'd like. Back into our ladder hatch room with a simple jump crouch, and behind the second door is our entrance to our catwalk. Since we have a super protected catwalk, now we can shoot people without having the fear of somebody building up and killing us. Down here is what I like to call a lower deck. It's basically just a little bunker window, which is really nice. It does wonders to have a catwalk like this, because if somebody gets too close, the auto turrets will kill them, and if they try to run away, you can shoot them with your gun. Here I'm just showing you that the catwalk has a 360-degree view. And I highly recommend that you don't put any window ports up here, that way you don't limit the view of your auto turrets. Back over here. Next to every single entrance to the catwalk there's a ladder. This ladder leads up to our top area, which is kind of like a crow's nest, but not really. In our top part of the base, or our crow's nest, you basically have this chest location where you can stand on top of the chest and it provide the same protection as if it was a low wall. And so yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the base tour, so why not show you guys how to build it. You're going to want to build in a relatively flat area, so when you do find a relatively flat area, place a square and a triangle attached to it. The foundation height will be above eye level, almost to the point in which you can't even jump on it. On the opposite side of the square from the triangle, you're going to place a double doorway. From there, place walls around the rest. Then just place in your floor tiles and upgrade everything to stone. Now place in your wooden double doors and put a normal lock on it. It's only slightly more expensive than a normal door. Once you're done with that, place in your interior. All you really need is one cupboard, a few furnaces, and a box. Once you get enough metal frags, this might actually take a while, but when you do, replace the wooden pair of doors with the sheet metal pair of double doors. From there, head outside, place a square foundation and another triangle attached to it. Upgrade them to sheet metal, that way they don't decay as fast, and also remember to upgrade the other ones. Then place a single door frame, upgrade it to stone, and then place all your walls. With your new doorway, place a sheet metal door and a code lock. Then climb on top of your starter and then place in your sheet metal flooring. Also remember to include a ladder hatch. If you can't afford the gears for the ladder hatch, you can replace it with a wood floor tile, that way we can hatch it that's down later. Head outside to begin working on your foundation plan. What you're going to do is you're going to place a triangle foundation to any of the foundations in the front side, meaning any foundation on the side of the door. Then from the newly placed triangle, place a foundation stair leading down, and then place a square. Then build in 2 squares and place your triangle back. Then you're going to place a bunch of triangles until you get something that looks like this. It's basically just a honeycombed off triangle. Then on the larger side of the triangle, you're going to place 1 stair and 1 foundation upwards. Remove the stair and place another foundation inwards, and then remove the old foundation. Then just place your triangles like you did with your starter, and do it for the other side. Once you're done with that, upgrade everything to sheet metal. Now on every side without the elevated foundations, you're going to place a doorway, and a sheet metal door of course. Then on every set of elevated foundations, you're going to place a set of walls, upgrade it to stone. Now when you get enough stone, add another layer. Locate the center of your foundation plan and place 3 door frames around it. Then you're going to lead doorways from your center foundation to your front doors. Make sure they intercept with the door to the ladder hatch room. Now if you did it right, this is what your doorways should look like. Once you're done with that, build your honeycomb up 2 floors. This is a pretty simple step, so if you need any extra help, there will be a link to the fortified paste bin down in the description. Once you have your honeycomb up, you're going to place in your sheet metal flooring your ladder hatches. Now begin placing in your dump chest. What I like doing is I like rotating the salvage shelves vertically, that way I can place the chest on top. In my opinion, it looks a little nicer than a horizontal box system, and then from there, just place in your double doorways and your walls. Now we're going to chop down our cupboard and we're going to move it to the center. Now on one of the elevated sides, place a single door frame. Then you're just going to place walls all the way around the rest. On the side without the doorway, you're just going to place a normal wall here. In this open gap right here, all you're going to do is just place a wall there. Then just place a wall right in between the 2x1. Then begin filling in your interior. I'm not going to commentate through this, so if you need any extra help, slow down the video with the gear icon on the bottom right, or use the Fortify provided in the description. Head back into your ladder hatch room and then go over to this doorway over here. You're going to place a floor tile a half floor down and upgrade it to sheet metal. This will be your lower deck. Then hop back up to your doorway and put a temporary floor tile. You'll remove this in a second. Add another square and then place triangle floor tiles attaching to that square. Then place one more triangle, square, square, 3 more triangles. And this spot up ahead, you have to actually do something different. You're going to have some epic parkour skills, and what you're going to do is you're going to jump to the other doorway. If you're not as cool as me, you can of course head back into the base and then head out the other side. Then just place your lower deck like normal, temporary floor tile, 3 triangles, and then continue it all the way around. Now that you're finished, you're going to head back over to your doorway, and then you're going to remove the temporary floor tile. Then just start upgrading your flooring to sheet metal. Now this next step is arguably the hardest step of this tutorial. Possibly because it's the most tedious. But what you're basically going to do is you're going to build right up underneath your catwalk, and you're going to place small signs right up on the side of the flooring. This will cost a lot of time and a lot of wood, so I don't recommend doing it all at once. Since I'm super lazy, I'm going to finish up this side just to prove my point, and then I'm going to do the rest in no clip. Next step, you're just going to cover up this floor with sheet metal flooring. I really suggest putting wall frames, that way we can keep up stability. And before the upgrade, please remove the triangle flooring right above the double doors. This is where our main loot storage is going to go. Then place single door frames to the right of the opening, upgrade it to stone, and then place a wall to the left. Make sure it faces inwards, that way they can't pick. Then for your elevated sides, you're just going to fill it in with sheet metal flooring. For your main loot boxes, you're going to place one vertical box so it goes along with the wall, and then one horizontal one so it goes along with the door frame. Then you're going to place another horizontal one so it covers up the doorway. Then to the right of the doorway, you're going to place a wall and upgrade it to stone. Once you're done, you're going to fill in all your flooring with sheet metal floors. Now just add more layers of flooring. If you need to know how to do this, just slow down the video with the gear icon on the bottom right, or download the Fortify link. And for your final step, all you gotta do is just place walls all the way around your base. You can use wood or stone walls. Either one prevents people from building along your side of your base. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the base build, guys. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.